I'm Marcel. I'm 57 years old. I am in Amsterdam and I'm a designer. I remember I was a curious kid. I was always playing with making stuff and also destroying stuff. I was better in destroying for sure. I had a little wood shop and I had a place where I would take my bike apart. I made sure that the tools in the wood shop never would go to the bike shop and the other way around. And I had a talent for breaking stuff down. The first thing that I made that was a big success, I remember, was this plank that, and I put on it with one or two nails. I put something like straight on it, and then it floated. So I made a boat, age 4. Pretty amazing, no? Honestly, when I remember being very excited about this boat, and I think with my brother we must have made 30 of them. When I got in, I thought maybe this design, maybe not so bad. And then I worked my butt off all year. I did everything like with so much energy and passion, and I really started loving this field, and I thought this is going to be the thing that I'm going to spend my life on. I'm going to just make things for people, and by the time I really understood this is it, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life, they kicked me out of school. I will never learn something that's a waste of my time. I'll just pass it. No. I'm sure I have done things that I thought were really important, and I spent an endless amount of time on it. And I know now today that that was maybe irrelevant. In fact, I remember doing a little party. I think something like 5 years after I was in design school, and I did a party because not only did I know that in my education I learned a lot of things that maybe weren't true, but I remember I did the party because I had proven that everything I knew 5 years before was utter bullshit. I'd proven myself that whatever I thought 5 years ago was bullshit. And I did a party for it. It was a great party. I remember it well. Well, for the longest of times, I had lived in Amsterdam because my studio was there, my daughter was there, and I did a few typical projects, real estate and kind of things in Amsterdam. And so while traveling a lot, I lived only in Amsterdam all my life, and I thought that's really weird for a guy like me, because it would have been amazing if I would have been in another place. And so I was in Paris for a year, I was in San Francisco for a year, I was in Milano for a year, then I was in Budapest for a year. And now I'm a lot in Mallorca, and the weather is wonderful there. I have had so many failures. You have no idea. I mean, out of every project you have seen that I have ever did, there's a tenfold of failures behind them. It's the minimum. There's an endless amount of dreams that have been broken through time, through ignorance of other people, or through intelligence of other people. I mean, I've been wrong so many times, and it's something that I've learned to live with graciously. I think it's wonderful that the world stops me at some point, because I think that's really very important. he has one of my first knotted chairs, and something must have been wrong in the process, because that child put the chair upside down and just jumped on it, which is not exactly what you want to do with the chair. And so after 20 years old, I was able to repair that chair. And so with the piece of carbon fiber, I just knotted around the brake, and so his chair is now as good as new, or probably better than new. Coincidentally, yesterday evening I was with him, so we had dinner together. Anyway, hi Richard. I think the beautiful thing is that one is not more important than the other, right? They're all parts of the big picture. Why would we try to make something that is like trash in the eyes of people? So I think it's our task to make sure that on all these ways that you can see the world, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, rational, spiritual, all these ways to look at the world, we create value. We create something that has, something that is interesting. Never bore people. It's a waste of time. No, I never had a backup plan. I mean, they kicked me out of school. They told me there's a certainty that I'm never going to be a designer, and still then I didn't even consider a backup plan. So there's no backup plan. I love what I'm doing. I love to make things. I love the communication with people. It's my communication to the world. It's how I'm connected to the world. So there's really not there's no alternative, and the good thing is I don't need an alternative. So that's maybe I'm lucky. What's really cool is that Dutch people are very direct, right? There's no bullshitting. There's just like straightforward questions. There's opinions. There's not all that kind of under the border. So I love that. But at the other end, sometimes if you're in an international setting, I am so ashamed of the Dutch people, right? Because they can be so blunt and so stupidly direct. Like my Dutch. I'm proud of it, but I'm ashamed of it. So we'll never do it again. He's dead. Now. It's like a father and his daughter. I always try to do creative things with her, and preferably things that I cannot educate her, because it's things that I don't know how to do it and she doesn't know how to do it. So we both are like, oh, how do we do this, right? And so once we went to this bead store to make a necklace, because I thought, never did a necklace, could be fun. So we went to this bead store, and both of us are walking around with our hands in one bead. And it's like after 15 minutes or so, I have my hands full of big chunky stones, and she's like, light green, light blue, light yellow, transparent. It's like, okay, maybe we make 2 necklaces. That's not going to work, right? So we made 2 necklaces. And so then my necklace became a bit like the necklace I'm wearing a lot. And I wore it because I like it. And then I thought, this is cool. I'm gonna do this project for real. And so then for 1.5 years or so, I worked on finding special stones, making special stones, and making that necklace something like a diary of thought for myself. And I made 25 of them, and that was the story. And I wore it since, because I love wearing it, and still today. Well, yesterday. Things come and go, I guess. I like my necklace better in the winter. I think that's it. I think the most beautiful languages are if people do not speak their own language. I love that, right? I mean, if Indian people talk English, I love it so much, right? And the French also, if they talk English, I love it so much. So it's like I love the effort of communication. I love it if someone is not perfect in the language, but really brings his own tone of voice into the language. I love that. We live in a pretty exciting time now. I mean, with all the challenges that we have still, it's an amazing time with fantastic opportunities. So many interesting things are about to happen. So yeah, if you ask me what's the coolest time ever, then it would probably be today. It sounds a bit boring, but I really think it is. Ignorant. There's this one quality that I really hate, which is ignorance. I just don't get it. Also, it's like being uninterested for the world. I'm like, how do you do that? You got a few years here, and then you're ignorant. I mean, come on, it's a waste of life. It's a waste of life. There's a whole bunch of theatrical things that I love to be part of or see, whether it is crazy movies or whether, for instance, opera. I love opera, where it's a crazy world there. The lighting is dramatic. The people do weird things, and then they kill themselves and each other, and like surreal worlds that are like so unpredictable and fantastic. I love that. And maybe my life's a bit less. Oh, a little bit more mundane, but still. Maria Callas, maybe? Why not? Let's take someone that's maybe not so bad. Yeah, Maria Callas is unprecedented now. There's no voice like hers. Let's say Wim Delvoye. I think he's amazing. Friend is someone that you can call if you're in trouble, and they'll help you. I have so many friends. So interesting. So what is it? And I think I've got so many people that I care about and they care about me, and we would always do everything we could to help each other. So that's the definition of friendship. There's a lot of them, and it's the people I work with. I'm 196, so that's pretty tall. But I like. I know what's important for beds for me is that there's not a piece of wood or a metal mesh at the end of the bed, because I just my legs just go to the other side of the room. I don't care. So they're just outside, and I don't mind. So I don't need a long bed. My feet can just hang out. It's not a big thing to me. I do it, and sometimes I don't do it. It's not my my holy grail of sports. My shoe size is 44. So I have I don't know what that is, and I think it's 11 in the States. I don't munch at all, ever. No. No, there's not one thing about myself that I don't like. I like everything about myself. Especially that I'm so humble. I love the bubbly mind. Like a head that's like active as champagne, like brr, brr, brr. You feel like there's almost foam coming out of their ears from being bubbly. I like those people. I like that. I ate a whole bowl of cockroaches once. It wasn't good. It wasn't great. You have this outer layer is like cracks, and then all this fluid comes out. Black. Hmm. It's centralizing it. So it's just like it's. It needs a more beautiful word, but in a way, this time has cut off a lot of branches and we're all back to our stems and our roots. It's like a bank account full of money. If you don't want to spend it and therefore get rid of it, it's worth nothing. People think freedom is important. It's completely irrelevant. It's spending freedom that is relevant. Oh no, this is impossible. I mean, both are, they are the same. Impossible. Well spoken. Yeah, you make my life difficult. Okay, Amsterdam. Bikes. Wine. Sketchbook. Gabrielle. Gabrielle. My nose. Amsterdam. Oh, overvalued. Functionality. Come true. Mine. I love them. So, they're green and wet. I don't want to stare at the future. I just want to be part of it and contribute.